And today we'll continue more specifically our series on confident and resilient women leadership. The title is Your Mindset as a Lighthouse to Become a Confident, Resilient Female Leader, and we'll be focusing more on women in technology. And to do that, we'll have two outstanding speakers, which I'll present more later on, but I'll give you some insights. So first, Shiran Mlamdovsky Somech, which is the Vice President Impact at DNIT. It's a social entrepreneur, social tech entrepreneur, and founder of the Listen to My Voice campaign. We'll have her speaking just a bit in a few minutes. Second, we have a young leader, Anya Singh, an innovation developer at RBC. She's a founder and director of CNXN and a co-founder of the Mamita Health and a blockchain developer. So she will be talking about blockchain, crypto, and so many other things you'll hear. Indeed, you're likely to see more men and women in the tech-related discipline right now, but this is absolutely important. Women in tech are definitely needed, and you'll hear many things about this in the next few minutes. And there are great role models in this industry. We have two with us today. We're absolutely pleased to have you, Shiran and Anya. She's a social tech entrepreneur. So we talked about the blockchain with Anya really well. Now we'll talk about social tech. And she's also the founder of Listen to My Voice campaign. So you'll see it's directly linked with domestic violence and solutions to that. She's an executive MBA, a lot of great credentials.
Hey Asia, hey Stephane. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm Shiran Mlamdovsky Somech. And I would love to share with you how we use innovative AI and create social impact. Now I'm going to share with you my presentation. Okay, perfect. So I will start. So today, as Stephane mentioned, I'm a VP Impact with a company named DAD. So we are a small company. We established 5 years ago. We have 50 employees. We raised around $50 million. We have a diverse of customers, as you can see here. Although we are a small company, we established the impact department in a pretty early stage. And this is because this is part of the DNA of the company and also part of my DNA as well. So my social mission statement is to promote global change using innovative AI technology. And by doing so, we increase dramatically and improve people's attention, engagement, and create empathy, promote inclusion, and it's all to address severe social problems. So now I want to share with you behind the thing of our technology. So as you can see here on the left side, there is an actress, a video of an actress. And in the right side, there is a still image. And now you can see how we keep the facial expression of the actress and transfer them to the still image. And this is how we control the narrative of the video and keep it authentic and tailor-made. And also it's come with a voice, right? So there are a few options to use the voice. One, it's part of the video, of the actress video. The second is just upload a text file or an audio file. And here we come to talk about the campaign. So before we start, I have a trigger warning. We are going to talk today about domestic violence and gonna hear chilling stories. And for some of you, it also might bring up some emotional. So this is a campaign. This is Listen to My Voice campaign. I'm the entrepreneur behind the campaign. And what we did, we brought back to life 5 diverse Israeli women, as you can see here on the picture, each of them from different background, different age, sector, socioeconomic status, and so on, because it was part of the message. We want to have a clear message that domestic violence can happen to anyone, anywhere. So you can see here on the left side, Michal Sela. I'm gonna share more about her story. And Esther Barhani from the Ethiopian sector. She was 50 years old, and her husband, that was a police officer, shot her to death from his own weapon, while the only son was at home. Marin Khajikhe, only 28 years old. Her husband burned her to death while she was pregnant. Esther Aronovich, 70 years old. It was her second marriage, this time for what it looked like to be for a successful doctor. And this successful doctor shot her to death from his own weapon. Last but not least, Sagit Uzdere, only 23 years old. She lived in Tel Aviv. She dreamed to be an actress, go to Hollywood. However, her boyfriend chucked her to death while her father was waiting for her behind the door. And now I want to introduce you to Michal Sela. This is one of the most important and also infamous cases in Israel. Michal seems to have it all. She was 32 years old. She lived in a nice village near Jerusalem. She came from a loving and warm family. She was beloved. She has many friends. She was a qualified social worker. She was married and had a baby daughter. However, 2.5 years ago, her husband stabbed her to death in front of their 8-month-old baby daughter. And for her family and close friends, this murder was a complete shock and seems came from nowhere. Also, there is no evidence for physical violence that occurred before this murder. And now I want you to hear what Michal has to say.
I was Michal Sela. In 2019, I was murdered by the man who was my husband, the killer, Eliran Maroon. And today, after I lost my life, I call on you. Listen to my voice. If you are in a relationship or were in a relationship and he is jealous and obsessive towards you, if you are afraid of his reaction to parting from you, share with a close person and a domestic violence expert who will help you separate safely and return to your light. Listen to your gut feeling. Do it today. Listen to my voice. Listen to your voice.
So this was the story of Michal Sela, rest in peace. And now I want to share with you how I came up with this idea. So I coming from the high-tech industry, and together, alongside with my day job, I also working to empower women. It's women entrepreneurs in the high-tech industry, and also women at risk, prostitutes. And in my last role, I was working in Innovation Center for Smart Mobility. And I used to work with cutting-edge startup companies and also with multinational companies as Honda, Volvo, Hertz, and others. And one of those companies was a company named DAD. And they transformed still image into videos. And while working with DAD, I met a domestic violence survivor that shared her story with the whole country. And by doing that, she was super brave, of course, to share it so openly. And by doing that, I saw how she increased dramatically the awareness to domestic violence in Israel. And it's got me thinking about the women. They're not with us anymore. And we cannot hear their voice again. And I thought, what if we could hear what's happened to them, hear their story from their own mouth, what we can learn. And then the idea pumped into my head, and I thought, we can bring this woman to life. We can animate and adapt the still photo using AI technology. And at that point, I wasn't sure if it's a genius idea or totally insane. And I called to my friend, the CEO of DAD, and also to another friend of mine. He's one of the owner of an advertising firm named Bilodeau. And luckily, they really loved the idea. And from that day, I had a mission. I quit my job and I decided I want to create this campaign. And I did it together with them.
I was Michal Sela.
Sorry. And this campaign was alive, and it was an outstanding success in Israel by every measure. It was very viral, with 10 million views in only 3 days, 5 times higher engagement rates across all genders. And I think this is very important achievements, because usually those kind of campaigns, the audience are women. And if you want to create a real change, we need to bring together all genders. And last but not least, but also very important, we saved lives. So while the campaign was running, we had 1,000 clicks on the hotline numbers. And also we got direct inquiries for women, young women, even teenagers, through the social media, to Facebook, to Instagram. They share with us that after they saw our campaign, they understand that they are in dangerous relationships. So as you can see here, this is part of the high exposure we had. We started on the national news. We've been in a morning show in all the commercial TVs and channels. Celebs and influencers share the campaign through social media. iTech, a key player, also share the campaign. I approached by NATO to present it. We also presented in the UN in Geneva by the sister of Michal Sela, and got covered from international press as well as BBC and Reuters. The families. The families was a key part of our campaign, and their involvement and motivation, that's what my campaign to be so strong and effective. And we worked together with them from day one. We had interviews, we built the script together. They also was part of the filming day. And on a personal note, the peak of the campaign from my end was when we present the family for the first time the complete video. And for the first time, after all what we have been through together, they saw their loved ones coming back to life and share a tragic end. And this was very, very emotional moment, and no one had a dry eye. And even then, after those amazing families saw the videos, they told us that when they saw the loved one talk like this, they knew it will save lives. So this is behind the thing of the filming day. As you can see here, it's the actresses. We, by the way, recruited A-list actresses to be part of the campaign, the most leading and famous actresses in Israel. And here you can see how they met the families. And I think even the families, what's so unique that the families did some fine tune for the actresses while they were animate and dub their loved ones. Also, what was unique in our campaign that we brought together 3 different sectors. The government, we collaborate with the Federation of Local Authorities in Israel. The business sector, a leading IT company as Meta, Outbrain, Natural Intelligence, and other, and the non-profit organization as well, that they contribute the professional knowledge and they connected us to the affected families. So right after the campaign, I approached by DAD and the company that collaborate with her during the campaign. And they offer me an offer that I cannot refuse to establish the impact department. And this is unique department. It's not philanthropy, it's not a corporate responsibility, it's not a pro bono. They all, of course, very important, but we are building something new, something different. We're gonna use our core technology to create social impact campaign. We're gonna do a dedicated project, dedicated use cases. It's already part of the business and the core of the company. And here is some more campaigns, social impact campaign we did. Here it's to increase awareness and also decrease discrimination against the people that are positive to HIV. We launched it in France. Another campaign we launched last May in the UK. We also brought back to life missing children. And we create smart billboards that people cannot ignore of. And before the next slide, I want to share that in all those campaigns, we saw a very high increase in the engagement rates and the attention from the people's side. And this is how we actually saving lives by doing so. It's like it's a content that people cannot ignore. And today we have a message about the domestic violence. It's a worldwide pandemic. The prevalence are very high and it's rarely talked about. According to the UN data, 1 in 3 women globally experience violence. 50,000 women worldwide killed each year by their intimate partner. And also 1 in 2 women report that they or women they know experience domestic violence during COVID. And I think those numbers are enormous. And we as a society, we should act. And this is why we are now expand our campaign and make it global. And just to rephrase, I think that a dream, you dream alone is only a dream. A dream, you dream together, it's reality. And this is something that we do together with my amazing partner and now together with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shiran. Great and moving presentation and important topic you came with. Impressive technology that allows you with your colleague at DID to help people understand the importance, but also I think, and that was quite moving, to allow family to see and have their loved one which passed away at least being able to relay a message, which is important, really important. As you said, in COVID it was just worse than ever. It's more important than ever to push that message. The other thing you said, which is absolutely important as well, it's all genders that needs to be involved. Women are suffering, but the other side of the equation, men are definitely a key stakeholders in that, so they need to be aware of what it is and how big the tragedies are. Thank you very much. I have one or two questions for you, and maybe Ayse, you can add to that. So you came with a message related directly to domestic violence. You've started to work on that, if I understand, from well before that. So in relation with your childhood or maybe later on, your dreams, and you referred to Yoko Ono and her famous quote on dreams, by the way, dreaming together. How do you connect your early dreams with what you achieved so far in the project itself, this big achievement? So how do you see the link between the two and your current success on that big endeavor you're in?
I think this is a very interesting question that you just asked. If I try to connect it to my childhood, I think as a child, I really want to do something meaningful, and also to be like a strong businesswoman, to affect other people, and I want people to listen to what I have to say. And after I grow up, so also I started to see things that happen in the world, and something wasn't feel right to me. And then also I started to be very active in the social world, and to be in volunteer and support women and empower women. And I think in my last phase, I fell in love with technology. And I think that technology assists me to be more creative, and also the understanding that we can do something big using technology. Like usually when people volunteer, it's one-on-one effect. And if we want to do something big, we should involve technology to make something more scalability. And I think this is where everything comes together, because my basic, I really believe that social impact cannot stand alone. It also should be part of the business. This is how it's going to be more sustainable and more effective. And when we evolve the technology, this is how we make it big, making something really meaningful. This is how we can really create a change.
Absolutely right. So the technology allows you to have a bigger outreach, and in something like this, it's absolutely important. So that's great. You were able to kind of tie in the two and make sure that it went
the three
further.
Actually, the three. Yes,
you're right. so you said it. I know that. So yes, the three things. So that's absolutely an impressive technology first, and the second, your capacity of integrating all these in collaboration with others. That's awesome. Thank you for your. My second question and is more, what message would you like to transmit to other women which have an entrepreneur mind like yours, in just a few words, just kind of message you would like to translate to them? So what would be?
I think it's combination of two messages.
It can be two. That's fine.
Yes. Because I think there are two layers. The one, I want people to understand that people with no fantasies weren't gonna do great things. So we should all dream, and dream big, even if it sounds insane. And let ourselves just dream and think, and then share with others. And the second thing is also, it's more related to women. Don't be afraid from biases. And each of us has biases, biases for companies and to ourselves and the companies as well. And my message is, treat your own your own advantage and take them out. Like, let people understand that your advantage, like soft skills. No one give them the right perspective. They are very, very important, and sometimes they just disappeared among other things. We are women. We are strong. We have a lot of advantage that we just don't consider them as advantage. And this is my message: be yourself, believe in yourself, and go conquer the world.
Absolutely well said. To give the place, the space for these soft skills, as you said, to just become huge tools to thrive for the women themselves, but also as you showed really well for the communities, for the world as well. So it's a great message. Thanks very much, Shiran. Ayse, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you have questions or comments you would like to add to this.
I think Shiran gave a very important and big message. So be self, believe in self, and conquer the world. So nothing to say. I think it's all in her message.
So great presentation. A great thank you to you, Shiran. And we'll
and just an open note, if everyone wants to do a brainstorm and reach out to discuss the vision, the dream, how we collaborate between technology, create impact, I'm more than happy to sit for a coffee, for a Zoom, whatever it takes.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.